Alright, so this is the email received. The guy says, what do you think about this racist show coming this fall on ABC called Fresh Off the Boat? Alright, so, it says, what do you think about the racist ABC show this fall, coming out this fall, called Fresh Off the Boat, about a Chinese American family trying to live the American dream set in the 1990s. The producers in the show try to include all Chinese stereotypes you can think of. Alright, so I saw the trailer. It's like a 3-minute trailer, and my thoughts on it. You know, I'm on YouTube. I'm on probation right now, so I don't want to get too angry about it. I don't want to swear about it. It's just all I'm gonna say is it's disappointing that that this would even be allowed to be aired on mass media. You know what I'm saying? Like, this show that's outrightly promoting racism, you know, against Asians, you know, against Asian Americans, and it's accepted in this culture, in this society, in America, and it's very disappointing. It's very sad. You know, I mean, just look at the title of it. You know what I mean? I don't think it would fly well if it was if they made a show bashing on blacks like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But in a way, Dave Chappelle, you know, in a way, was bashing on his own people and making fun out of that, you know. And I love Dave Chappelle, you know, and his comedy. And this is another example, you know, of promoting like racism against the Chinese, you know what I mean, or against the Asians. It doesn't surprise me, and it just shows me how this world, when it comes to racism, nothing's changed. It hasn't gotten any better. If anything, it probably gotten worse. You can set up as many laws as you want against racism, but it's still very powerful within, you know, the human being. And that's mainly because racism is a product of capitalism. You know, capitalism promotes racism. You know, the American culture and this strong ego and this pride, it promotes racism. The only way that you could cure racism is basically like learning how to understand this ego and not like letting it just take control of you. But people, they have such a strong sense of this ego that it will eventually lead to expressions like this, ugly expressions like this, you know, basically feeling a sense of superiority over another person because you live in a different country, or because you look a little different, because you got a different skin color, or because you speak a different language. It's just a bunch of, you know, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the America is exploiting the Asians, you know, the Chinese, you know, as slaves, you know, having them work for 50 cents an hour overseas while, you know, we enjoy our luxuries over here. And then we're gonna bash on them as well, you know, make fun of them and place them below us. Let's stomp on them, you know. Let's not just push them down, but let's actually stomp on them, you know, because that's what makes them feel good, you know. It's like this bullying, you know, this way of destroying other people's confidence, and you know, it's a sad thing. America, they know that, hey, they're not allowed to bash on the blacks, because they learn from the past, but then they're like, you know what, we're not gonna bash on the blacks, so let's have Americans bash on the Chinese because they're not gonna do anything. They're gonna accept the bashing, and that's pretty much what's going on. You know, you notice, like Bruce Lee was the only one who made it to mass media, and he was somebody that was actually respected as an Asian American, somebody that was a starring role, and basically respected, and you know made a huge impact in Hollywood and the mass media. But then he dies all of a sudden, and then his son dies all of a sudden, Brandon Lee. And then, who lives on? Jackie Chan. Well, Jackie Chan, is somebody that the Americans love to laugh at. They love to laugh at the Chinese people because they're so much better than them, right? So Jackie Chan, it's okay to let him into mass media because he's allowing Americans to poke fun at him and laugh at him and make fun of his nose, and make fun of his accent, make fun of the way he looks, make fun of everything about him. He's allowing you to make fun of him, so it's okay. We could let him into mass media. So Asian Americans are only allowed to come into the mass media only as long as they're allowed, as they accept, being bashed on. So Jackie Chan is allowed because, it's okay to disrespect Jackie Chan. And this new TV show is allowed because it's okay to bash on the Chinese. As long as you're bashing on the Chinese and expressing your superiority over them, it's okay. Now they're allowed to be a part of mass media. But it's not okay for there to be a Bruce Lee. Somebody that's beating up white people on screen, that's a no-no. We're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow an Asian person to beat up white people on screen. We're not going to allow an Asian person to be in a position of authority and power in America. No. Asians will only be our servants. They will only be our slaves. They are not going to be in positions of power. The Americans, they will take the Asian women and rape them and make babies with them or whatever they want to, but they're not going to allow the Asian man to come over here and take over and be in a position of authority and power. That's a no-no. And this is clearly what's being illustrated right here, right before your eyes with the mass media. Bruce Lee, during his time over 40 years ago, it was the same problems that there are today. They were using a white person in the movies back then to make fun of Asian people, having the white person pretend like he was an Asian guy, so then white people could laugh. Well, not just white people, Americans, everybody in America could laugh at the Asian person, poke fun at him. But now they recruited Asian people to participate in the self-hatred and to promote racism against the Chinese and Asians. So let's have the Asian person make fun of, himself and his own people, disrespect his own people, his own culture, and let's have everybody laugh at the Asian people. Let's have the whites laugh at the Asian people. Let's have the blacks laugh at the Asian people. Let's have the Asians laugh at the Asian people. The Asian Americans laugh at the Asian people, because these Asian Americans think that they're somehow better than the people in Asia, because they've been infected with this strong ego and this pride to believe that, because they live in America, um, everybody else in these other countries in the East are worthless people that do not deserve any sort of respect. So that's what I see that's going on, and I stay away from it. I don't watch this stuff. But somebody sent me an email about it, and I thought it'd be something that I could reflect on. And in a way, the positive, if there is any sort of positive that could come from this, is that you could see more Asian Americans regularly on screen in mass media. So the show in itself, even though it's designed to poke fun at them and laugh at them, the fact of the matter is these actors and actresses are on screen and the audience is watching them. They're paying attention. And they might be laughing at them now, but maybe later on that could lead to respect, potentially. Or it could lead to more opportunities. Because, okay, now people are laughing at these Asian Americans on this TV show. And say the TV show becomes successful. It makes a lot of money. Now you're going to have TV producers and directors that want to recruit more Asians to take part in Hollywood because it's making money now. And then eventually it could lead towards, hey, people that start idolizing and admiring some of these Asian American actors and actresses, and then it could lead towards roles that are more respectable. So that is a potential. Look at with this guy with the six-pack shortcuts, for example. I don't watch his videos, but of course I know of him because he's all over YouTube. But it's pretty. I would say that he's gained a lot of respect from the public. People are not laughing at him and poking fun of him. They're going to him for fitness advice. They're going to him for nutrition advice. They're going to him for education. And he's one of the most successful people on YouTube today. And he's Asian American. So the people could see, like, hey, this guy's making all this money on YouTube. Hey, maybe we should recreate that onto the mass media and have a six-pack shortcuts in mass media where there's a buff Asian dude that's got some respect from the people, and now the people could actually start respecting the Asian Americans. So there's the good and the bad. There's the good and the bad. And that's how it starts. Look at the presidents. All white presidents until now. There's Barack Obama, the first ever African American president. It could happen. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, you would never imagine that. It could happen. So, first, you might start off as a slave. And then after that, you get promoted to be somebody that's in charge of all the slaves. And then after that, you could get promoted to the next position. So, like, you start off very low, and then it can be built up higher. Look at Jackie Chan. He started off playing an extra in one of Bruce Lee's movies, getting his neck cracked. He just had a really short scene in there where Bruce Lee just snapped his neck off. And then now look at him. He's the starring actors for he's the starring role for all these films. So you could start off as an extra, somebody that's getting your neck cracked open, or you're getting your head split open, you have your neck cracked, And then all of a sudden, years later, you could be playing the starring role. So with these Asian Americans that are in the mass media with this TV show, if it becomes popular, it could open up more opportunities for more Asians out there in film. And you might start off with some roles where you're being severely disrespected, but it could end up leading towards more respectful roles. So that's a potential that I see. So that's just my feedback on it. I don't want to get too upset about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna help the issue, but people, you know, at least with YouTube, you could control, how you express yourself, and you don't have to, you know, you don't have to stoop down so low to disrespect yourself and your people in order to gain some attention, fame, and money. You know, it's sad, but there's always going to be people out there that do that. And it just makes it harder and harder for people of Asian descent to gain some respect out there when they're making stuff like this, constantly talking trash and poking fun. And, it's very aggravating. First I had to deal with Jackie Chan in Rush Hour and letting Chris Tucker bash on his race, and then now I gotta deal with this. People looking at me and thinking that I'm fresh off the boat when I was freaking born here. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad, but this is the society we live in. That's all I gotta say about it.